Considering the information, Mr. Chair, that this representation have relayed already, the chairman is a Chinese national. Other executives, Zhang Yuwang and Xin Juwan, are both Chinese nationals. And then we have this working group of NGCP, Ming Jun, Cheng Wei, and a certain Wen Bo, participating in the evaluation of bids, all Chinese nationals. And NGCP continue to maintain that the managerial and executive officers are Filipino citizens. Mr. Chair, I am prompted to ask for a complete rundown of the remaining key officials of NGCP, which the NGCP representatives, I hope, will provide at the soonest possible time. Mr. Chair. To proceed, Mr. Chair, NGCP, are you aware that the State Grid Corporation of China has its own publication?
I am not aware, Mr. Chair.
Secretariat, kindly flash the publication which says SGCC first time acquired right to run transmission grid outside China. This publication, from the perspective of China, totally rejects the position of the NGCP that the Filipinos are in control of the NGCP. Because as you can see from this publication, it is the SGCC itself which is claiming that for the first time they acquired right to run transmission grid outside China, referring to the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. May we hear the comment of the NGCP?
Your Honor, this write-up was not written by NGCP. This write-up is...
I understand. But going back to the question, do you still maintain the position that the managerial executive officers are Filipino citizens? Do you still maintain the position that Filipinos are in control of NGCP?
Unequivocally, Your Honor, I maintain that position.
It seems to me that the course have changed already, considering the significant officers who have been participating in the operation of the NGCP, aggravated by that publication coming from one of the major stockholders of the NGCP, that is the State Grid Corporation of China. That is a manifestation, Mr. Chair. To continue, Mr. Chair, NGCP, nasan po ba ang switchboard ninyo? You don't know?
Your Honor, it's a technical term. We have technical people here.
May we ask the technical people?
Your Honor, definition? May we have a clarification
Yes,
insofar as that term?
we know, okay. So you're calling in the technical people to help out. Can we have their names and what position do they occupy in the organization? Sino po sila?
Good afternoon. I'm Clark Agustin from the...
Pakilakas lang po.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm Clark Agustin from the System Operations. If you're referring to the control
From
system...
what? From what?
System Operations.
He taken his oath, Comsec, please take the oath of the of Mark. Tumayo po kayo.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this congressional inquiry, so help you God? Thank you.
Answer the question of the Honorable Luis Strong.
Your Honor, if they're referring to the control system, our SCADA system, we have 3 control centers in the different regional grids. We have in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
How many switchboard or control system do you have?
1 for each region, ma'am. So
One for
actually,
each region.
we have 3 control
What
centers.
controls the switch or the control system per region? Meron ka pa bang main control that controls all the switch and the control system of all these regions? I believe yes.
Yes, ma'am. We have the control center for each region, and then we have substations for the equipment level control. For the system level control, we use the control centers using our SCADA system.
Where is the system control?
From the control center, ma'am.
Where is the control center?
For Luzon, we have here in Diliman. For Visayas in Banilad, and in Mindanao in Cagayan de Oro.
These control systems which you mentioned, they have the capacity to cause the blackout of electricity. Am I correct?
Not to cause a blackout, but to control our transmission assets. And
If I want to
substations.
turn off the electricity, I just need to switch off the control system. Am I correct?
1 by 1 per equipment. You
One
can do
by
that.
one.
Yes, ma'am. We can control it remotely.
So, kanina you mentioned about the main control. How many main controls do you have?
We have a control center monitoring and controlling different equipment of the grid.
How many main controls do you have?
So we have a system, pag control po ma'am, not necessarily, as I get from your question, isang button, wala po siyang ganon. So kasi different parts po ng grid, different assets, different control. So if you want to operate a certain circuit breaker, kailangan mong operate that specific breaker.
But
A
at least
specific
if,
feeder, yeah.
if I turn off one of those, did you say assets
Yeah.
of that control system, then the electricity will not work anymore. If I turn off one of the several assets of the main control system, the electricity will not work anymore.
If you intentionally isolate a specific area, that specific area will not have electricity, will not have supply of power. For that specific area, associated to that equipment.
To simplify, Mr. Chair, that main control that you are talking about is responsible to make the electricity available or otherwise.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you said that you have main control in Luzon, in Visayas, and Mindanao. My next question is, what is this operational computer in Nanjing?
I'm not aware of that, ma'am. Operational,
Operational computer in Nanjing. Nanjing, China, I believe.
I'm not aware of that, ma'am.
Well, based on reports, there is such a thing as operational computer in Nanjing, which is connected to the server in the Philippines that can control the availability of electricity in the country. Can you comment on this?
I'm not aware of that.
Is
Control,
it
yeah.
possible that this information is exclusive to the Chinese counterparts and not shared to the Filipino counterparts?
Based on our configurations of our control center, this cannot be controlled remotely through overseas, not even here, yes, here in
What is your basis for saying that it cannot be controlled remotely? Are you that expert?
Based on my experience and my knowledge, our SCADA system is actually isolated, ma'am. It's not connected in the internet, so you cannot easily control it remotely.
Without
Based
for-
on the design and the architect.